Are you feeling that familiar New Year pressure to completely transform yourself? Do you feel like there's this constant push to fix what's wrong with you before the calendar changes? Now, what if I told you that real, lasting change doesn't come from forcing yourself into something new, but rather from aligning with who you already are? Now, today, we're talking about intention setting, not from a place of lack, but from a place of wholeness. Whether it's improving your relationships, focusing on your personal growth, or creating more happiness in your life, this episode is here to help you kickstart 2025 as your most aligned and empowered self.
Welcome to Create Your Happy. Happiness Hussy Christy Holt here, ready for some real talk about creating healthy, loving relationships that make you truly fucking happy. Let's dive in.
Hey there, gorgeous human. Welcome back to the Create Your Happy podcast. I'm your host, Christy Holt, and today we're diving into something really, truly transformative, which is setting intentions for 2025 and doing so in a way that honors who you already are while opening space for beautiful growth. Now, you know what I love about intentions versus goals? Goals are like the destination on your map. They give you direction, but intentions, they're about the journey. They help us feel into the version of ourselves that naturally creates the outcomes that we desire without force or pressure. And in this episode, I am going to explore with you why most resolutions fail, how to align your identity with your intentions, and practical ways that you can connect to your future self on the daily. Plus, I will guide you through a visualization exercise to help you truly embody your intentions for 2025 right now. Now, let's talk about why most New Year's resolutions fail. It is not because people don't want to change badly enough. That is just not the case. It's actually because they're trying to force actions without first shifting their identity. Now, here is what I mean. When we try to make drastic changes without first aligning our identity and who we are with that change, we create an internal disconnect. For example, if you want to get healthier, starting with need to lose 30 pounds puts the focus on the outcome. But what if instead we started with, I'm someone who nourishes my body and moves with joy? Can you feel the difference? One is placing the outcome far into the future, and one is bringing that experience into the now moment. It's not just semantics. It's actually about creating lasting change from the inside out. Now, most of our so-called problems are actually identity problems in disguise, and I spoke about this in an earlier episode. I'll pop that up here for you. But when we solve the identity piece, the actions actually flow naturally. They don't feel as forced. So let's look at another example, this time with relationships. Many people, start the year saying, I want to find my person, or I want to fix my marriage. But here's where it gets interesting, because when we approach relationships from a place of wanting or fixing, we're actually operating from a place of lack. Now, instead, what if you stepped into being the person who already has the fulfilling relationship? Instead, shifting your intention to reflect who you are becoming. So instead of, I need to find someone who completes me, you could say, I am someone who creates deep, meaningful connections and shows up as my authentic self. Wow, can you feel the difference? Instead of, I need to fix my marriage, you could say, I'm someone who communicates with openness and cultivates joy in my relationships. That is way more empowering, isn't it? And when you set intentions from this space of being, you actually align yourself with the version of who you are and who naturally creates these outcomes that you desire as a result of the journey, right? Now, let's talk about some common pitfalls that I often see when people are setting intentions. And trust me, I have lived through these ones myself too. So number one is the not enough trap. So setting intentions from a place of thinking that you're broken or need to be fixed doesn't really work, because remember, you are already whole. You're not becoming a new person. You're actually just allowing more of your true, authentic self to emerge. Number two, the someday syndrome. Putting your joy and fulfillment off until you reach some future goal or outcome is really disappointing, right? It creates a lot of disappointment now along the entire journey because you're waiting for this outcome before you're going to allow yourself to feel happy, which means you're putting your happiness on hold. Like, I'll be happy when, no. Instead, bring that energy into the now moment. The magic is in bringing that future energy, that future experience of what you want as your outcome into your present moment and actively being that person now. And number 3, the final common pitfall that I see is the all or nothing mindset, thinking that you need to transform everything all at once. And a lot of people go like balls to the wall on this and try and change too much. And what happens when we change or try to change too much is it's overload and we actually end up falling off the wagon, as they say. The truth is, small aligned actions are what create sustainable change. So, how do you know if you're setting intentions from lack versus wholeness? Well, you can pay attention to how it feels in your body. Lack feels like tension or constriction, or a sense of urgency, desperation. It also might include comparing yourself to other people and other circumstances, or using phrases like I should or I need to. On the flip side, wholeness feels like expansion and openness. It feels like excitement and possibility and opportunity. It feels like being inspired by others while still staying in your own lane. And it can sound like using phrases like I choose to or I get to. Now, let's say you feel jealous by seeing another couple in love. I've seen this and I've done this, and I'm going to share a short story with you. I remember this couple that I used to see online, and they were so lovey-dovey online. Honestly, I thought they were full of shit. I thought nobody could be this in love. And now let's frame this with the context, because I was in a really deeply unhappy marriage at the time. And so from my perspective, I thought they were full of shit. And the truth is, they were just truly in love and not afraid to show it. Now, of course, I'm probably more like those annoying lovey-dovey people on my Facebook now that I've actually found a real, loving, connected relationship. And I share not because other people might think it's bullshit, though they might. I share because I want to show people what's possible. And in a way, because I'm talking about this couple, it's like 8 to 10 years ago that I remember feeling this way, it's still sticking with me. So I know that played a role. That image of what was possible, even though I initially thought it was kind of bullshit, mainly because I didn't think I could have it, showed me what's possible. And I'm so grateful to say that now I have that same outcome, and I'm probably making people roll their eyes all the time. Now, back to this jealous feeling for a moment, because that's essentially what it is. When you feel jealous of someone else, it's actually just something within you saying, maybe I can't have that. I would like it, but I can't have it. This jealousy points to this desire that you have within yourself, yet you don't believe you can have. So shifting your perspective by saying, this is proof that this kind of connection is possible too, right? What if? What if it's proof instead? Can you feel the difference? Shifting that perspective, that belief that you have that it's possible for you, changes everything. Now, let's talk about staying connected to your intentions daily, because this is where the real magic happens. First, you can have a morning connection practice. Before you pick up your phone or jump into your day, even taking 20 to 30 seconds to just simply embody your intention, which means to just feel into that, think of it, focus on it. Just allow this to permeate your being and see how this version of you feels as you move into your day. And you can also use some anchors. You can leave some little reminders throughout your space. Maybe it's, a word or a post-it on your mirror, or a note or symbol on your desk, a picture, something that represents your intention. Think vision board here, okay? But it doesn't have to be a vision board. It can be just a little note, a little sticky note, like I have right here on my computer, to remind me that every time I look at it, and you might want to change it up because after a while it does tend to blend in, right? Just a little reminder of what your intention is so that you can go through your day living from that place of intention. And speaking of things becoming sort of blurred in, pattern interruption. Because when you notice old patterns surfacing, you will want to do something to shake that up and to create a new pattern. And these old patterns will resurface because you're human, right? So if you notice them coming up, this is huge. So first of all, take a moment and celebrate yourself for seeing it. Instead of beating yourself up, thinking, I should have known better, or I can't believe I'm going through this pattern again, remind yourself that awareness is the first key to change, and that this means you are seeing things from a new vantage point. So you have grown, worthy of celebration. When you notice it, you can use this simple practice. Pause, breathe, and just ask yourself, how would the version of me who's already living in my intention respond? What would this version of me living in my intention do? How would I show up? And then act accordingly. And then the last piece of this that you could do really helps anchor it in is an evening reflection before bed. Celebrating just a couple of moments from your day where you actively aligned with your intention. They don't have to be huge wins. They don't have to be monumental. Maybe it was as little as you took 3 deep breaths before responding to a stressful situation, or maybe you chose to nourish your body with a healthy lunch. It doesn't have to be big. The small things are indeed worth celebrating because, as I said, it's those small steps that actually create lasting results. And here is something crucial that often gets missed: the role of self-compassion in this whole journey. Because when these old patterns surface, like I mentioned, they're not a sign of failing, right? It's actually an opportunity to practice being the person that you are, right? This person, this future version of yourself, the person you're becoming. And it's not someone else. It's really stepping into your wholeness, right? So instead of beating yourself up, simply think, I'm learning, I'm growing, I'm stepping into my wholeness, and this is exactly what I am meant to be doing. Now, I want to guide you through something really powerful, a moment for you to connect with your future self and truly embody this intention, just to bring it into your being and anchor it in. So if you're driving, please pause the podcast, save this part for later when you can fully participate, because I want you to get into a relaxed state, and that is a no-go while you're driving. All right, ready? First, I want you to grab a quick pen and paper. You can pause me if you need to, come back with that pen and paper. And I want you to take a moment before we dive into the visualization to write down your intention in the following format. You're going to write, I am so happy and grateful that I am now blank. Okay, so then I want you to put in your intention, your desired, like it is kind of the outcome, right, that you're putting here. And then we're going to bring it back into how that means you're going to show up. So I am so happy and grateful that I am now blank with your outcome. Feeling a certain way, preferably, right? I want you to really feel into what lights you up as you write this down. What feels both exciting and true? What makes your heart expand? Leaning into those expansive growth, whole mindset feelings here. And once you've written it down, go ahead and read it out loud to yourself. And as you do, I want you to feel the words in your body. I want you to pay attention really closely for any sensations or emotions that might come up, noticing what your body is telling you. You can take a moment and pause if you want to write any of that down. And then I want you to find a comfortable position. Sitting, lying down, doesn't fucking matter. Just get comfortable. Let your body settle. Let it relax. We're going to take a couple of deep breaths together to center ourselves. So let's take 3 deep breaths together. And on the first breath in, I want you to feel yourself grounding into this moment. Feel yourself in your body here and now. And as you exhale, simply feel the tension or doubt, stress melt away, relaxing through your body. And on your next breath in, I want you to imagine breathing in possibility and potential. Feel the tingle in your body as you do so. And as you exhale, I want you to clear out any feelings of not enoughness. On your third breath in, feel yourself expanding with trust and knowing. And exhale, allowing yourself to soften into this beautiful space of creation. Now, with your eyes closed, I invite you to step into December 2025. See yourself looking back over this incredible year of growth and alignment. What do you notice first about this version of you? Can you see yourself? Where are you? What do you notice first about the way you're carrying yourself? Maybe the light in your eyes, the energy that you're radiating. You might also notice who's around you, noticing the quality of your relationships, the depth of your connections. Invitation to really feel into your body as you feel yourself in this situation. As you're visualizing, notice any sensations in your body, whether they be confidence, peace, joy, happiness, excitement. Maybe other sensations too. Everything is okay here. I want you to notice what's different, right, about how you're moving through your day, how you're handling challenges as they might come up. Are you noticing new habits or old habits that are feeling natural and easy now? You can envision yourself moving through your day, doing the different activities that you would be doing if you were experiencing life as that future version of you. And I want you to just take a moment here to receive any messages or wisdom. You can actually ask this future version of yourself, hey, future me, what do you want me to know about the journey to where you are? What was the key to creating these changes? Really allow yourself to receive the answer, to absorb the feeling of being there now, the energy, this way of being. And remember, this isn't just a fantasy. This is a version of you that already exists. All you're doing is allowing yourself here to begin to align with her. So slowly begin to bring this energy, this knowing, this feeling, this experience back with you into the present moment. Keeping your eyes closed just a little bit longer. Noticing yourself back in your body, wiggling your fingers maybe, your toes. Breathing and feeling maybe where your clothing hits the skin or the air on your skin, where your body is sitting, laying, the bed you're on, the seat you're on. Breath moving through your body. And just notice for a moment, where in your body do you feel most connected with this future self? And you may go ahead and place a hand there as an anchor. And as a reminder that you can come back to this feeling any time because it's within you. One more deep breath in and a nice big sigh out. And when you're ready, go ahead and gently open your eyes. Pause the podcast here. Take a moment to write down everything that you experienced, what you saw, what you heard, what you felt, what you knew, and any messages that your future self had for you. I invite you to consider what feels possible now that maybe didn't before. Now remember, this isn't just a one-time exercise, not just a one and done. You can keep doing this all the time. And I invite you and encourage you to keep your intention statement somewhere that you're going to see it daily. And even just taking that 30 seconds to a minute each morning to connect back with this energy. Read your statement out loud. Connect in your being. Feel it in your body. Because the more you practice embodying this version of you, the more naturally the actions will flow from there. Now, in episode 31 of this season, we explored the importance of self-trust when it comes to creating thriving relationships, because trusting yourself is key when setting intentions. Doubt and fear are what pull us back into old patterns, so we want to lean into that self-trust. It's important to note here that you don't need to know the how or the when or all of the specifics. Trying to plan things from A to Z before you get started will actually keep you stuck in analysis paralysis. What I'm inviting you here to do is something a little bit different. It is focusing on feeling aligned with your intention now and trusting that the steps that you need to take will reveal themselves. Okay, usually often one step at a time. So looking inward, asking yourself, what is the next step? What is the next thing that I would do? What is the most loving and nurturing thing that I can do to move myself towards and live in my intention? Now, before we wrap up, I want to remind you of something really important because, again, this journey isn't about becoming someone new. You're perfect as you are. And yes, you can grow, but it actually is about allowing yourself to be more fully yourself, right? You're not fixing anything because you're not broken. You're simply choosing to align with the truth of who you really are on a deeper and deeper level. And as we step into 2025, I want you to know that I wholeheartedly believe in you and the magic that you are creating. You don't have to have it all figured out. None of us do. You simply have to stay connected to your intention and take aligned action one step at a time from that place. Because remember, transformation isn't about massive action all at once. It's about consistent micro movements from an aligned place. And each time, every morning, hopefully, when you connect back with your intention, each time you choose to connect with your intention, an action that aligns with this future version of you becomes clear. And this is the way that you can create lasting change. So, quick reminder of the tools that we talked about today. Your written statement, keep it visible. The visualization practice every morning, even 60 seconds to reconnect with that version of you can help shift your energy. Your body compass, just noticing how things feel rather than how they look on the surface, noticing within. Self-compassion, right? Always applying copious amounts of self-compassion because you're growing, not fixing. And those daily aligned actions, small steps for and from that future self energy in your intention. And if this episode resonated with you and you're ready to dive deeper into creating lasting transformation, check out my book, Love Unstuck. While it is a book about relationships, it is mainly a book about building a loving relationship with yourself. So if you're seeking better external relationships, you know the answers are going to be inside, and Love Unstuck is your guidebook to loving yourself back to life. It's full of tools and practices to truly help you align with your highest and truest self to create the life, love, and legacies that you desire and deserve. I would love to hear your intention statement if you feel called to share it. So feel free to take a screenshot of what you wrote, tag me on Instagram at Coach Christy Holt, or send me an email. Drop it, drop a comment on this wherever you're listening, and let me know how it feels to step into this beautiful energy of intention. Now, as we close out this episode, I want to leave you with this. 2025 isn't about becoming someone new. It's about allowing yourself to be more fully, authentically, and radiantly you. You've got this, and I've got you. And as 2024 comes to a close, so too does this season of Create Your Happy. I have had an absolute blast sharing everything that I have with you this year, and I know it has been impactful. Your comments light me all the way up, hearing the impact and ahas that these conversations have brought you to. My personal intention for 2025 is to create just a little bit more space for rest and to start, a new year fresh after such a super busy year publishing 2 books. Create Your Happy will therefore be on a short hiatus and back with season 4, date to be determined. I am certain it will all unfold in the perfect timing. And in the meantime, I invite you to check out the past and previous episodes and seasons that you might have missed. And please share your experiences with me, because you, gorgeous listener, are why I do what I do. So thank you so much for sharing this space with me today and throughout the year. May 2025 be a year of beautiful alignment, growth, and joy for all of us. I love you. Now let's go do some epic shit, shall we?
Thanks for listening. Sharing what I know about creating healthy, happy relationships means the world to me. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, comment, leave a review, and share it with a friend. For additional links and resources and ways to connect, please check the show notes. Now get out there, have fun, be you, and create your happy.